Hey, and welcome to Weather Chats with Whittaker. I'm Katie Whittaker. I'm a high school earth science teacher and a meteorologist, and today I'll be chatting with you about precipitation types. Knowing the difference between precipitation types is an important thing to know because it can affect the kind of hazards that you're going to look out for. So this very simple diagram shows why I'm an earth science teacher and not an artist, but it helps you get the point across. So on the far side here we have the precipitation starting as snow near the clouds, so it's not all that uncommon, but this warm sector is very large, and so the snow melts and stays as rain the whole way down. Highest risk there, of course, would be flooding, depending on how heavy the precipitation is and how long it will last for. Moving over, we have starting as snow, turning over to plain rain in the warm sector, and then not refreezing until it touches the surface. So that means the surface is at or below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Freezing rain is one of the most difficult hazards to deal with. It can be tough to see the ice on the roadways. I would suggest looking at road signs. Of course, the car thermometers will help, but seeing actual accumulation or buildup of ice, it's easier if you look on the shoulders. But anytime it's raining and the temperature is around 32 degrees Fahrenheit, you want to take it a little bit easy just in case there are some slick spots. Moving over to the next one, we have it starting as snow, turning over to plain rain, but that's a very narrow sector of warm air, and so it will refreeze into sleet. And I tell my students that sleet goes with snow, so that is a cold weather scenario. And finally, the last one is super easy, starting off as snow. Whole sector is below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, so it stays as plain snow. Heavy accumulations can lead to downed power lines or trees, and certainly the roadways can get pretty hazardous with those snowstorms. On the far side here, it looks something like Marge Simpson's hair, and that's what it's meant to look like. It's a cumulonimbus cloud, and that's a thunderstorm cloud. This is separate sort of from this whole scenario over here. Hail is a different sort of formation, and what happens with hail is you get this strong updraft in the clouds. So circulation caused by convection causes water to go up into the clouds and come back down. If that updraft is really strong, it can carry the rain up to a level that's below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It will freeze into ice, and then it'll come down, pick up some more moisture, go up above 32, turn to ice, and that circulation can cause the hailstones to grow quite large. So the stronger the storm, the bigger the hailstones tend to be. Eventually the weight of the hailstone will overcome that updraft force and it'll fall down as hail. It can be 80 degrees at the surface for hail. So hail is with severe thunderstorms, sleet is with snow. So knowing the difference between the two is an important distinction. You're either dealing with slippery winter weather or you're dealing with a severe thunderstorm. Something else you may have heard of is something called graupel, and graupel is snow that gets encased with ice on its way down. The difference that you can tell between sleet and graupel is that the sleet will be more clear or transparent, and with the graupel it has more of a white appearance because of that snow that's locked into the middle of it, and it'll fall apart very easily in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me today on Weather Chats with Whittaker. I hope you learned something today. If you have something that you want me to chat about, send it in. I would love to talk about it. As far as weather goes for this week, the week of the 24th, we're not going to be seeing a whole lot of these different scenarios. I think we'll mostly be seeing the extremes with rain and snow, mostly rain for the mid-Hudson Valley and along the eastern seaboard with a storm that's moving in on Tuesday. Could see a little bit of mixing in the Hudson Valley with some snow on Tuesday morning, but very, very brief period, and surface temperatures will be in the mid-30s. So not looking for much there at this time, although it can certainly change. Those of you in more of central and northern New York, you'll see more of a snow situation for the start of the storm on Tuesday, but it will change over to plain rain for you also. The backside of the low comes through on Thursday. That could bring some colder air in for places more central and in northern New York, along the eastern seaboard, mid-Hudson Valley, down through the Carolinas would be more rain throughout the entire event. And then behind the low pressure system, looking at some lake effect snow for the areas to the east of the Great Lakes. Thanks again for joining me. Hope to see you again soon.